Hey, folks, I'm Rob Morris with Mobile Pirate Radio, and this is the NPR News That Matters. And today we have in the studio a special guest, Mr. Jerry Carl.
Good to be here, sir.
Thank you for taking some time to come and speak with us today.
I love your sign here.
Oh, yeah?
I think this sums up a lot of things in life.
Deep thoughts from the shallow end.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
I feel that way most days.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's see. You're running for District 1.
U.S. Congress.
U.S.
correct.
Congress.
And our election is going to be August 11th. It's coming up in roughly about 32 days, I believe. My math is correct.
That's not long.
No, it's not long at all. Consider we've been running since this time last year. It's wound down.
How are things looking in the polls for you?
Well, we haven't done any polls in this particular race. We got a real good poll done in June with what they call the ghost election. So that gave us a good idea where our strengths and where our weaknesses are at. So we got a good idea there where we need to polish up a little bit.
I'm not really sure I trust the polls that much myself.
You know, it's got to where if you want a poll, you can pay a company and tell them roughly what you want to see, and that's what the poll they're going to deliver back. So
That figures.
I don't trust polls either. The poll that I was referring to in June was actually the ghost election when people actually showed up and voted. Mobile County, we did 74%. We took it 74%. Baldwin County, and this was 7 candidates. Baldwin County, we were a little over 50%. Escambia County, we were 75%. In Covington County, we were in the mid-20s. So we know where our weaknesses are at from that poll, and that's a true poll because that's people that voted.
Okay. So you got a pretty good idea of what's going on out there.
And we do.
Well, listen, my wife and I, we have United Healthcare Insurance. And we live close to Providence Hospital in Mobile, yet the whole complex denies my insurance for healthcare because it's not covered anymore. It used to be covered. We used to go to Providence anytime we had to, but now they won't take our insurance, United Healthcare. And furthermore, if we go to USA to have to get a procedure done medically, we have to prepay a prepaid.
Because they're not sure United is going to pay them.
Is that right?
Yeah, so what that boils down to, I grew up in the healthcare field. I've been 40 years in the healthcare field, so I understand home healthcare primarily and the pharmacy side. That particular policy you got obviously is not honored by the USA system because they don't have a contract with them. That has nothing to do with USA. That's United, for whatever reason, doesn't want to do business with USA, and or USA doesn't like the reimbursement rates that United offers. There could be a multitude of reasons, but the two of them decided obviously not to do business with one another, and you're trapped in the middle. The best thing you can do is, find you a coverage of an insurance company that if that's what you want, actually change your insurance.
We're going to have to wait and re-up at the end of the year.
Yeah, and it's a nightmare.
It is.
It's a nightmare.
Because people on fixed income, like myself, we can't really afford that extra cost just to get a procedure done.
So I've always paid for my own insurance. So, $1,800 was what I was paying per month for myself, before I qualified for Medicare. So I feel your pain. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, let me ask you, if you're going to Congress, how do you feel about the Save America Act?
I don't understand why the Senate has got a problem with it. I don't understand why anyone has a problem with it.
It's an 80-20 issue.
It's pretty simple. Why would you not want someone to qualify who they are before they vote? I mean, you go and buy a pack of cigarettes, you go and buy alcohol, you go through the airport. I mean, you can
check in
just
the
keep
hotel,
going.
rent a car.
You got to prove who you are by formal ID. We all have IDs. It's not something that's unusual. So I don't understand. Now, the Senate, I know you got a handful that just doesn't like Donald Trump.
Right.
And they're causing problems for Donald Trump.
TDS all the way.
Yeah, and with the Senate, I've been in the House for 4 years, and the Senate can be quite difficult to work with. Our delegation, the Alabama delegation, you're talking about Katie Britton, talking about Tommy Tuberville, wonderful to work with. We can work with them easily. But a lot of those senators are very complicated people.
That's strange.
Well,
what about birthright citizenship? What's wrong with that? I mean, They have billboards in Texas right now advertising that you can get a natural birth or C-section, tells you the cost and everything.
I have a real problem with that.
Yeah.
If your parents aren't citizens, I don't think you should be able to cross over the border. I did get to spend some time at the border when I was a congressman. I did see how the borders were open during the Biden administration. And Lord, Trump has changed that. I'm talking 180 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the opposite of what it was. But you know, there were pregnant women. It was just, and you stand there and they just walk by you. You know, it was nothing stopping them from coming in. So there's a lot of those children that came in that are born. Now the big rub's going to be, well, we're going to make them citizens, so therefore their parents can become citizens. And I'm one of those. I stand very firmly on the fact of if you slipped over here for your parents to give birth, so you would be a U.S. citizen, get out.
Amen.
Or go through the proper channels.
From what I understand, there's some Chinese people that can come over here, have their child here, become an American citizen, go back to China, be raised there,
Yeah.
and then they can come back here to vote and run for office. Imagine that, for president.
Follow the money.
Hmm.
It's always about the money. So the citizenship issue and open borders, the Coyotes were getting roughly about $5,000 to show them where they crossed the border.
Right.
That was literally like me walking you to Cottage Hill Road and telling you to walk down Cottage Hill Road, and that'll take you where you want to go. Literally, that's about what it was. I picked up airline tickets. I put the puzzle together. The border police down there, or border patrol, showed me how it worked. It is a very simple, but it's all money. It was $5,000. Those Coyotes, they were making more money off bringing people to the border and showing them where to cross than they were actually what they were making from the drugs. Now, another problem. So they're coming across the border. They got a $5,000 bill. They can't pay the bill, no problem. Here's a backpack. You carry this backpack with you. So therefore, we had tons of fentanyl coming in. Fentanyl getting into the system. Most people, you know, it's becoming less and less of a problem just because of Donald Trump and his stubbornness on stopping this. Thank God for it. But you know, you take a pack of Sweet and Low. I used to do this, especially with children. A pack of Sweet and Low. There is enough fentanyl there to kill 250 grown men.
That's
if
crazy.
that was fentanyl. So 2 packs can kill every member of Congress.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But a lot of it slowed down since Trump has
Oh my gosh! It's 180 degrees different. But it took a person with a strong enough backbone that says, no, we're not going to do that. I don't care what you call me. I don't care if you make fun of me. We're not going to do it that way anymore. I'm the boss.
There you go. There you go.
He is the alpha in the room.
He is the alpha male. I swear, you know, the world.
No doubt about that.
Well, have you ever met him?
Oh yeah, I've met him several times. I've been around him.
I bet he is a nice guy.
He's just when the cameras aren't rolling, people aren't standing around. Just a normal guy. He's very interested in people. You know what you do? You know, and I always confuse people. I go, "Well, I used to sell church furniture," and they'll go, "What?"
Well, tell me your thoughts about Sharia law. Would you ban it if you were in Congress?
You know, that's a very tough question because we are a country of freedom of religion. But I want to emphasize the but part there. That has become such a nightmare worldwide. And what they want to do and how they deal with not just, well, women especially, but how they deal with human beings. We've got to find a way to deal with that. Well, to outlaw it, I think we've got to find a constitutional way to do it.
Okay.
I'm all for that.
Well, it's my thinking that they are using our Constitution against us by installing their own religion, freedom of religion. But Islam is not a religion, it's an ideology.
I agree. And it's worldwide. It's not just us. I mean, you look at France, you look at England, they don't want to get into dispute in Iran. And the reason for it is they've got so much Sharia law there. They're afraid the backwash they're going to get, you know, from the people that are already on the ground.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. The Sharia law is one thing, but I don't think that their laws are going to fit with our constitutional laws. Especially when it comes to, you can marry a girl at 10 years old.
Yeah.
A man can beat his wife.
We're not going to bend our laws to make their laws work. period.
That don't make sense.
I mean, just period, and the way they treat women is horrible.
The Democratic Socialist Party, what do you think about this one?
That's the biggest. That's a gift that's going to keep giving. To
I
the
think so,
Republican
too.
Party. I asked my Democrat friends, why would you support that? And the first thing out of their mouth is, I don't support it. If you're a member of the Democratic Party, you are supporting that. I don't care what you say, you're supporting that if you're a member of the Democrat Party.
That's true.
And you can call it socialist, I call it communism. There is no difference in what's going on there. So just as a friendly Republican, I would suggest my Democrat friends really check that one out. Because it's coming.
It is coming.
But it's going to be the gift that keeps giving, especially in this election, in the 2028 election too.
Well,
It's nothing new.
one step away from communism.
Yeah, I mean,
And the young people are not being taught in school about socialists in the past and communism in the past.
I don't think they teach any history anymore.
That's a shame. Something needs to be done about that.
Well, we need the education system to be ran by locals. We don't need Washington D.C. dictating what's being taught in our classes. And as far as money, as far the tax dollars we collect, I get it. But we need neighborhood schools that are ran by mothers and teachers and principals that actually live and shop together. That's what we need. And you and I grew up in that.
That's
I
true.
mean, it took a community to raise a child.
That's true.
We may not have been the best in the class, but we had to answer to everybody because everybody knew our parents. But now it's become a federal thing, and your kid doesn't pass or your kid fails, it's the school's fault. No, take some responsibility as a parent. Sit down with that child and try to teach that child.
That makes a lot of sense.
You can't blame the government for everything.
No, we can't even blame the kids really for acting stupid because they haven't been taught the right things.
Yeah, that's a different. I mean, we as a society, we've got to start taking responsibilities for our actions
I agree.
and our children's actions.
I agree. Now today there was a new dump released from the Pentagon and White House about UFOs.
Okay.
The UFO files. What do you think about that, the whole subject, and do you think that we will have disclosure soon?
So, yes, I think there's enough members like Tim Burchett and some others that are really pushing for all the evidence. I sat through a classified briefing on that when I was in Congress. I saw some things.
It was in a skiff.
Yeah, in a skiff. The biggest thing I can tell you I brought away from that is there's things out there we don't know.
Right.
We don't understand. It doesn't fit those squares
Our
and those
business.
round holes that we're used to plugging into.
Right.
And are they UFOs? Of course they're UFOs, but that doesn't mean they're from another space. It doesn't mean they're from another galaxy. It could just be something natural here, but there are some very unsolved things that, and I'm not narrow-minded. I think I don't have a problem with the concept of life in another galaxy. I truly don't. I think it's exciting just thinking about it, but from what I saw, there's just a lot of things that they can't answer.
Yep. I'm looking forward to seeing the new files because the first one to the last, grainy and all that kind of thing. I'm thinking that they're slowly releasing these files to acclimate the American people and the world, because this government website has been viewed billions of times, like 3 billion times around the world.
So my father-in-law used to tell me he was very entrenched in the federal government and contracts and stuff. He says there's some things Americans don't need to know, and I often wonder that dealing with UFOs. I don't know. I've seen nothing to verify that, but we don't need the federal government getting us all excited. We don't need another COVID scare over UFOs.
That's right. Whether it's a biological warfare from China or UFOs infecting us with some kind of cosmic disease, who knows?
Yeah.
Well, listen, before we wrap it up, there's the community around Big Creek Lake to take back the lake. You were pretty instrumental in helping getting that going and getting them to open back, getting Moz to cooperate.
Well, I wouldn't say I was instrumental. I voiced my opinion for what it was worth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's been a lot of people out there that's worked a long time, and the frustrations that I have is that lake is, yes, you can go rent a boat, yes, you can do some things, But you know, I grew up, my dad and I would fish that lake. I took my son out there fishing on the lake when he was little. He'll tell you the horror stories of the boat breaking down, us getting, brought in. And now I've got a boat ready to go and take my grandson. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I go rent their boat. I can do it their way. But it's just, as someone that fishes a lot, I spend a lot of money to make sure that I've got something that I can use that I'm used to.
They've already taxed us with the fishing license.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, fishing and hunting was something that ought to be just a natural thing that Americans can do without having to pay, being taxed on it without a license. And now they're taxing us again by boat rental.
Yeah, and that is obviously to quote unquote control what comes in and out as far as plant life. But they got a beautiful washing down area up on that hill. I don't know why there would be a problem. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I think it's far from over.
Well, just like you, I'm sitting on top of that story, by the way.
Yeah.
Just like you, I grew up fishing on Big Creek Lake as well.
Hard
That's
lake to
good.
fish.
It is, but
Very
ooh, it was a lot of fun back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry, I want to thank you again for
My
joining us in the
pleasure.
studio. I'm about to burn up.
I can tell you're a little
I
hot.
had to come out of my coat.
Yeah,
That's
in
gonna-
Congress you learn not to sweat.
Listen.
Don't let them see you sweat.
I'm gonna have to get some more advice from him on that. Well, listen, thanks again for showing up and coming by and taking time to talk with
My
us.
pleasure.
Y'all don't forget to register to vote now. That's
August 11th.
11th.
Please get out and vote. It's going to be a very low turnout. I need all the votes I can get, please.
Let's back him up, folks. I'm Rob Morris from Mobile Pirate Radio. Thanks so much for watching. It'll cut off in a minute
Okay.
when it makes up its own mind. Or just might have to get Camera Girl to do it.